There we go.
You should be good to go.
Now I'm okay. It's really weird. It's asking me to join now again. Oh,
Well, we can hear you, Mayor.
you can, huh? Okay, I'm
Yes.
just joining again.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, you're on a second account now.
What?
You have two open.
How did I do that? I have to, okay, let me get out and come back, okay? I'll just
Okay.
get out of this. Oh, well, am I out of one net right now?
You are. You dropped Mayor Linda Olson, and now you're just on Linda Olson.
I think I have a Mayor Linda Olson. Okay. All right. We're ready to go then, huh?
Yes.
All right. This is the beginning of the mayor manager meeting. It's 8:33 on June 2nd. My husband's birthday, by the way. And in the room is Mayor Linda Olson, Allison McKinney Brown, Jade Truscott Reed, Othaniel Sierra, Stephanie Carlisle, and Shawn Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning. And that is so small. I'll put it on the big screen.
I did adjust it. I have it on my end at 120. I'm hoping.
Let's go a little higher, Jaden.
Okay.
Please.
Let me know if it's adjusting at all.
Yes, yep. It is. That actually looks pretty good.
Okay.
All right. On June 8th, just a reminder that we're starting at 5:45 because we anticipate the board and commission interviews being 180 minutes. And just a reminder for anyone listening that the deadline for applications is May 11th. We also will have a special meeting.
Yeah, so we're going to have all the packets. Well, we have them. We've had them, right? Some of it. We need to have the questions sent out and need to figure out who all is going to do that. We'll do it at 5:45, but let's just make sure that the questions that we've used in the past, Jade, do you have those?
Jackie's coordinating all of that, so I believe that she will send that out to you. One of the questions that we had is that do you want the reappointments sent separately? Because the actual interviews that you'll be doing, we're attaching each person's information, and it'll be more of a confidential agenda, so the public will see the agenda but not the documentation that's being provided. So we're kind of doing it a little bit differently this year or this time. But one question we had was about the reappointments, and then certainly she will send out the summary chart as well as the questions that you need to ask. If you want those in advance, we're happy to get anything to you in advance.
Yes. I think it would be good to have everything all in advance.
And when would you like that by?
Well, usually get them on Thursday, but we can get them whenever you can get them to us.
Oh yeah, she was planning to send everything out for the packet, for basically essentially a packet on Thursday. Do you want them sooner than that?
I don't know. Mayor Pro Tem, do you see any reason?
Well, if they want to send them earlier, I think that more time to look over the information would be fine. The other thing is that I would separate them between reappointments and new appointments.
Yes, they're definitely separated. So we'll just get those out to you.
Yeah,
two different. Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many, but the sooner we get them, the easier it is for everybody. Make sure they've read them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're saying that we'll get them electronically, and we normally don't because of we do. You've sent them.
Well, in the past, it's our understanding that you would receive just a separate email with all the applicants' information.
Correct.
We're going to put it actually under each interview slot on the agenda, but it won't be their information isn't public. There's a confidential piece to iCompass that you can still receive it for each one. But then we'll send you a separate packet for all reappointments with a summary sheet.
Nice.
Yes, I think you'll really like it. It's just a little bit of a new way of doing it, but I mean, you can give us feedback for sure if you want it to look differently.
I think that'd be great to try that. Is member Russell going to get a hard copy packet too then, or how?
Yes. Yes, she will
Sure.
get a hard copy.
Okay. Great. So as long as we have the questions with it all, then we can be ready for 5:45. Decide who's going to ask what, and if they're the. I might send out an email, maybe through you, Shawn, saying if you see any changes in questions before 5:45, it would be really nice to have those.
Sure.
Especially since we're, yeah. Anyway, I don't know that anybody will want any changes, but
Yeah, that'll work.
great.
All right.
June 10th.
Moving on. Yeah, moving on to the special meeting on June 10th. These are study session items that are on the agenda. The Downtown Matters, Downtown Development Authority update, an update on the Title 16 Community Outreach RFP, and that's in, those are the responses that you wanted to see for the Unified Development Code, engagement and assessment. And then we also have an item with regard to restricting some local streets to through traffic in the 3400 block of Broadway. I actually need to talk to Maria. I think that we actually are pulling that. Yeah, we've only had one business who has requested that. And then we've had a handful that have actually said that they are opposed to that. What are your thoughts on that, Mayor? And
Well, if they don't collectively want it, I just don't think we should do it. But I know there are cities that are doing it, and it's really changed things. And they've had, well, I know this would take some resources. You're planning on having one lane go either way still through it, or is it just completely the entire street?
Well, in terms of the, for safety's sake, we would have to probably do some sort of, Jersey barrier if we were going to keep a lane of traffic open. And those require a crane to come in and put those down. Certainly we could try barricades, but if it was something that was going to be done for, an extended period, we would definitely not trust to just have barricades. Your traditional lightweight barricades. So yeah, let me get with Maria. This may just be a carryover that we had intended to take off.
Yeah, I heard last week from you all that not enough businesses really wanted it, and it actually thought it would be more adverse for them, and they wanted to use their back areas. It may be we're so new into this next stage, although it's still safer at home for another month. People don't know what they're doing, so the crowds won't show up.
Right.
Maybe we pick a couple of times when we just do it for a weekend or a Saturday or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll get some more information, and I'll make sure that's included in our recovery report. All right.
So we might only have 2 items that night.
Yes. So we might want to look and see if there's anything that's pressing that we want to move up. Because I think we had originally scheduled that with a little heavier.
Yeah.
Moving on to June 15th, and then we can come back to that one, at that meeting if we want to. But on June 15th study session, we have the overview of the website, strategic plan overview and finalization. And I actually, now that we're doing that as a study session, we probably shouldn't call it finalization, Jade. I told you that, but I think it should be strategic plan and overview of survey, maybe, or surveys, plural.
Yeah, the ones that we sent you all?
Yes, and the ones that the public did as well.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask about the website overview?
Sure.
How long do you want that to take? And can that include some of the policing things mentioned last night?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I think probably 20 minutes.
I think it'll be 30. Maybe not. I don't know. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, possibly about. They usually always go like 30, so. So.
That's probably my leadership more than anything, but people do like to talk.
So next we have, sorry, I'm trying to get my doors closed, lots of noise outside. The procurement policy, best value procurement, will be on this study session, and then the citizen of the year. On the regular agenda, we have first reading of the DDA ordinance. Uh-oh, we've lost the screen. First reading of the DDA election ordinance, then resolution. New appointments approved by City Council. Contract renewal for Martin Wood. Contract renewal for Berg Hill. First reading IGA with RTD for the trolley. First reading of lodger sales tax increase, and second reading, and I believe this will go on consent, yes, on the opt-out ballot question with regard to broadband provision. Questions on any of those? Can you all still hear me?
Yeah, nothing for me.
Yes, may I get times for the study session items, or would you like to circle back around for that?
Yeah, maybe council members, do you have thoughts on what those would be?
Well, if we say 30 minutes for the website, strategic plan overview, what do you need from us for that? We're gonna have to start prioritize, do any more reorganizing, right?
Yes, it'll all just depend on discussion, but I think maybe 45 minutes on that. Or well, yeah, maybe we'll keep it to 30.
Oh no, I think that'll take longer. But I might be wrong, but I don't know what we're gonna. Are the citizens' surveys quite different than what the council was focused on? Do you know?
There's some alignment there.
Okay, part of it depends on the alignment, whether we're looking at real big changes.
Right.
Yeah, this is that can't be moved up, could it, on the 10th?
Yes, I think it could. Yes.
I think I'd prefer to have it there if we could. Then if it goes a little longer, it's not making a meeting longer.
Yeah, that item is ready except for the memo. So yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
All right.
So
then
then
on the best value procurement policy, do you have thoughts on that? Length?
Remind me, this is the work that John Stone pushed along too, helped
Correct.
stimulate. Yeah. So I think it says 30 minutes. Do you think that?
Yeah, I think that's probably
all
good.
it'll take.
That sounds good.
I think that's gonna be longer than that.
Do you?
Yeah, just a hunch, but I have nothing to base it off of. This seems like an important topic that I think may take more time.
Is there anything new that she's suggesting in this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty substantial change of, you know, a criteria by which we would not always pick the lowest bid. For instance, if there were, I think it would probably weight a local vendor preference more. I think it would look potentially at, you know, wage rates paid. So she's still working that out. Councilmember Stone was kind enough to send a number of examples from Adams County and a handful of other communities that are using similar policies. So she's going through those now and turning that into, you know, some policy discussion for you to have on this meeting.
Okay, I really am excited to see this. I think you're right that it could take more than 30 minutes. I'd say 45 minutes at least. Do you think, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I'm thinking 45.
Thoughts on Citizen of the Year?
And we have one candidate for that, or more than that?
I'm checking with Kristen now. Kristen now, sorry. Yes, you're right, Mayor. We only have one at the moment.
And it's still open, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And so are we going to be picking? That's.
Chris is letting me know that it's a discussion about how you all want to handle that. And if you want to extend the deadline, yeah, or cancel for the year even.
Okay.
So it may not be a long discussion, but
yeah,
it just depends on
okay.
your preference.
Okay. Yep, thanks.
And then on the regular agenda, we've already gone through these. All right, on June 22nd, we have, go ahead.
Did we already go through those?
Yes. But do you have any questions on them?
Oh, no, you did go through these. Yes, you listed them all off. Is the RTD, the IGA for the RTD trolley, is that changing at all with their budget issues?
The dollar amount is changing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yep. Go on to the 22nd.
All right. June 22nd. Organized garbage collection subcommittee membership. We do have 11 applicants now, and the bids for the RFP are going to be due in June, early July. And the other 3 topics on that meeting are utility rate discussion, utility funds overview, May 2020 financial review.
Okay.
Moving on to July 6th, we have a study session, the homelessness study. The DU folks will be covering that, giving us an update on where we are. Of course, it had to be paused due to COVID-19 and the inability to do interviews. And then the second reading of the DDA ordinance will be on that agenda, a strategic plan overview and finalization. Hopefully, if we get all the work done that we need to earlier, we hopefully can put this on the agenda for a vote. And then we have the tentative new appointments recognized by City Council.
Okay.
And then moving on, the only other item that we have scheduled right now is the discussion on the Police Oversight Board.
All right. Well, if we look at the postponed items, should we? And maybe we should, yeah, could we look at the future items and then perhaps we take a few moments on the 10th to ask council to weigh in on priority for them, but we could propose a priority.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
The illegal evictions, that was going to be some information that was sent out to us, and I apologize if you sent it and I haven't paid attention.
I didn't. I have not sent it up. Alex sent me a report. Today's Tuesday. I think I got a report Friday afternoon. So we'll have something out this week to everybody on that, just to give people an overview of what the eviction process is.
Okay. And then I see that the state extended, I believe, evictions during the COVID time.
Yeah, but it's not, I think there was a special order on it. So it's not exactly in line with the safer at home. I need to pull that up and look at it. It all just dropped at the same time.
Pesticide and herbicide, I would think is something that it's going to be front and center, that we move up more quickly. I'd love to see that get on sooner than later.
Okay. And then we also sent out the council request on the pesticide herbicide policies. But I can't remember if there was a next step in that memo. I'll have to look, but I didn't know if you all wanted a conversation about that or a council request. I can't remember.
Well, I think there were certain pesticides and herbicides that people were bringing up, our constituents are bringing up, and they want to make sure that we're not using them and doing all the things we can to protect people and animals and the water system. I guess perhaps, yeah, maybe we find out what people want to know from this in order to talk about it. Nathaniel, do you remember?
Yeah, well, I know that we've had people come and speak to it. I could obviously reach out to some of the members of CASE because I know that this is high on their list. So I could ask them for what their ask is for something like this. But I know that it came from other individuals as well in the city.
There was a bunch of emails that came in from citizens on this time last year.
Yeah. Should we just go down these and kind of rate them, or do we want to do it as a council?
As a council, Mayor. Similar to how we did it last time around.
Yeah, do you see anything that's looming that we need to do right away other than the pesticide that we can definitely schedule in? Because I do think earlier in the season would be better than at the end of it.
Well, if the report on municipal court was slated for the spring, we're running out of spring a little bit, but we can check with Tamara and the judge on that.
Yeah, we did say that we would do that. So let's check with them to see when they would like to come and just give us an overall report of how it's going, transitions they've made, things we should be aware of.
Shawn, could we have somebody? Can we have the communications department do the open roads or send out like social media or just get insight on what people would think about open roads for recreation?
Oh, I'm sorry, open roads?
Well, closed roads. It says open roads, but basically it'd be the roads that border three parts: It's Logan, Duncan, and Jason, I believe.
And did you ask if there was a survey on that?
Well, no, I was just asking, could communications provide a survey or just reach out to the community and just find out what their thoughts are on this? I've talked to a few people that are open for it or that are open to it here on Bates Logan, but obviously it's just a few people. So just kind of curious what people would think if we were to close those roads for recreation.
Yeah, let me check with Chris and Maria. I've just started an email and I'll get that out to them to check on that. Mayor, do you want to go ahead and put a future topics list or item on the agenda for somewhere earlier?
Yeah, for the 10th, I think would be a good time. Which, but I would like us to put pesticide herbicides at the top, and then the courts. Let's see if we can find places for those. I think we can move ahead on those.
Okay. Krista just sent the court a question about that.
Okay. And then the illegal evictions, you've sent a report is coming, and we can ask if they want to talk about it any further. But
I will have a report to the council in the next day or two on that, so they should be ready to respond to whether or not they want an additional report on that by the 10th.
Great.
And I'll also send out a report on the traffic code update. I just asked my team how close we are to having that done, because I really wanted it done by the 1st of May. And I should have that information out to you guys in advance as well.
Great. Good, then I think we'll have what we need to decide on priority on the 10th. All right, anything else? We had one council request last night, didn't we?
Yeah, just one. I think that, I guess I guess I'm not sure if we need to put it on here, but future study session topics obviously could be re-engaging regarding the body cams issue, but
There was a lot of requests for additional information on the body cams issue. I'm asking Maureen to listen to basically listen to that conversation and pull those requests out of the conversation so that we can put together a report, and then all of you can decide how you want to distribute that, if you want to make that a follow-up study session in and of itself or distribute it in advance. But we'll start with getting that information put together. And it was coming from enough members of the council, I didn't even try to track it.
I know that, I think it was Member Russell that had a council request, or was it
no, that's right.
you, Mayor Pro Tem? Anyway,
Member Russell.
and it was regarding, I can't find it in my notes.
Basically the website, that's the way that I think it was.
Oh, yes, for the police. Yeah. And we're doing that then already, right?
We will be doing it, yes.
Did you hear anything else last night, Manager Lewis?
Shawn, you're muted.
Is he muted?
He's still muted.
Thank you. The other one that I had from Councilmember Anderson was, what disciplinary policy is currently in place in the police department? What steps would we go through to discipline and terminate an employee?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
And then, Mayor, you had one that I didn't get down, or you said I have a request, and then I didn't really get it.
I think, yeah, it's really not a request. I think I'm just going to put some materials together on that are responding to sort of the current situation with the unrest in cities over racism and social inequalities. And it may be that we could have a conversation about what could we do differently as a city? What are we doing well? What could we beef up? I sent an email to Mayor Hancock today about some things, so I'll see how that goes too. There may be some things we could do together.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't get that one down all the way.
Yeah,
so
it really was kind of it wasn't, I don't know that it's a council request. I'll put some things together, and then if others want to send them, we can just keep maybe a file share or something on anti-racist things that cities can be involved in.
Okay.
Be thinking about as city leaders, and it's not an easy question to be asking, so there's no clear thing.
Sounds good. Anything else? I think that's all I've got.
I think it is all I can see. All right, well, we will see you all then on Wednesday night, right?
Monday.
Well, I'm sorry, Monday, then the Wednesday. I'm already on to next week. No, not Wednesday, thank heavens. All right, well, this ends the mayor manager meeting. It's now 9:01. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.